Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Jeff's Giant Growing Journal. I'm going to do a little patch tour today, do something I don't typically do. I'm going to show you both my squash and my pumpkin, but also a couple other giants I've got going. Let me flip this camera around here and I'll show you what I got going. That right there is Lady. That is my giant green squash. The plant is around 700 or 800 square feet. I just measured her today. Today she is DAT 50, 356 inches. I don't know what that converts to. I haven't put it in, haven't looked it up on the chart yet. But you can see back here, I got a fan on the stump. I got some weeds there I got to get taken care of. The leaves are looking a little rough. I got some I'm going to have to get cut off of there. But other than that, the plant looks pretty healthy. I have some giant tomatoes here. There's a couple plants here I'm probably just going to go ahead and pull. I don't have any megas on there, and I want the airflow for that squash plant. I do have a tomato growing right here. This is on the 655 pork chop. I have one tomato growing. You can get an idea of the size here. It's not going to be a monster, but it'll be a decent giant tomato. But the thing I'm most excited about is right here. That is the biggest mega I think I've ever had. I'm not sure if you can see on there. The part of it is already pollinated and growing. I don't know if the whole thing is going to end up pollinated and actually fused. I've learned, I believe that if I leave all the other blooms on there, that helps attract the bees to help get it pollinated better. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's what I do. It's what it seems to work best for me. I have, this is my patch that I'm resting this year, so I've got some weeds and some ryegrass in there right now. I do have a giant tomato going right here. Again, it's not going to be a huge one, but it's growing. It's not on the best looking plant. I'm not even sure what seed that came from. Here's my marker. That is from the 5.71 Marley. And I got a couple others up here, but I will probably end up pulling them. I don't give the giant tomatoes the attention that they probably truly deserve because I spend so much time with the giant pumpkin and the giant squash. Here you can see my long gourd has reached the top. I do have a female up there that is on a secondary, nothing on the main vine. I will probably end up starting to terminate stuff here as soon as I get that female pollinated. Let's see if I can zoom in here. And right there is the female. This is my first year growing long gourd, so I do not know when that is going to open. Almost looks like it could be tonight. I'll have to make sure I get down here and check tonight and see. Hopefully I have some males that I can pollinate that with. Giant sunflower, my tall one, I'm currently sitting at about 13 feet or so. That pipe is 10 feet long, but unfortunately the flower is there. So I'm probably only going to get another foot, maybe 2 feet out of it, and that's going to be about it. I have another one here that actually grew up and split into two heads. So I have two heads up there going, and we're just going to let it go and see what happens. I'll take you down and show you my pumpkin here. You can see beyond the squash, but beyond Lady is some corn, some just ornamental corn that we're growing to sell the corn and sell the corn stalks with our jack-o'-lanterns that you can see here. Let me get Lady covered back up, and I will uncover Lucy and show you her. Okay, and here is Lucy's plant, and there is Lucy. Right now, I honestly don't know exactly where she's sitting. It's over 1,100 pounds. I will measure her tomorrow. Tomorrow she will be 50 days old. So we'll see where she's at tomorrow. I probably will not release that information. I like to keep some things a secret, and that is one of them. The size, typically you will not find out from me come August. You can see beyond Lucy some very tall weeds. Those are actually my pollinator plants. I have never done this before. This year I actually grew 2 plants just to pollinate with. One of them I am actually trying to grow a fruit on, simply because I want the seeds from it. I have a pumpkin on one and a squash on the other, and the pumpkin was open pollinated. No idea how old it is or anything. It's actually on my 1699. Looking at the size of it, kind of disappointed I didn't grow the 1699, but at the same time, very glad that I grew this plant, which is the 1747 and a half handy. I got one other thing I want to show you that involves all of these jack-o'-lanterns over here, and it's a little problem that my wife discovered yesterday. One other thing I forgot to mention, I discovered as I uncovered Lucy here, there are some splits coming. We've got one there, a little one there, one there, and several over there. Most of those just showed up probably within the past 24 hours or so, which is good. They're just growth splits. I'm not too concerned with them. I'll keep my eye on them, but you can see I have a fan going. I've had that fan on that blossom since probably about day 10. I've also got one on the stump and one on the stem as well. Actually, on this plant I have 2 on the stump, pointing 2 different directions. You should be able to see them back there. I will also show, I'm going to have to pull this forward. If you look close, you can see the stem, the main vine has gotten a kink into it, so I'm going to have to pull this forward today. I don't recall if I've ever pulled one this big, but it's got to be done, so I'll do that here in a little bit. Okay, here on the bottom side of my jack-o'-lanterns, my wife was cutting grass yesterday, and she saw something that alarmed me. She saw a groundhog running out of here. And if you look, there is not very many leaves on some of these plants. You will notice I've got 2 live traps. I've got some watermelon there. I did not have any cantaloupe. I've been told cantaloupe is probably the best bait that you can use for a groundhog. But a lot of these leaves have been eaten away. So I set up 2 traps. One has watermelon in the back of it, and the other has a green tomato and part of the pumpkin that the groundhog started to eat. I did 2 traps. Honestly, I did it because for a couple reasons. One, in theory, it should at least double my chances using 2 different baits. But a couple years ago, Mark Clements had posted a video about how to catch a groundhog, and his quote was referencing his wife, actually. If you ask your wife or your spouse, where do you want to go eat? I don't know. But if you give them a choice, they will make a choice. So I'm giving a groundhog a choice. It can go in trap A with a watermelon or trap B with a pumpkin and a tomato. So it will hopefully make a choice, and we can dispose of it and get it out of the patch. That is all for this update. I will probably do an update again, maybe on how to measure or how I measure and comparing the chart. Have a great day. God bless and grow big.